was guarding outside his house in the forest, because sometimes we would have rowdy people coming with mischievous intention, yelling and screaming and shooting guns and stuff. So I was there. Didn't happen every, and I could see Prabhupada's light go on at 1 o'clock in the morning. I could hear his voice inside as he was translating. He'd get up at 1 o'clock in the morning and pour his heart into these purports. This is Prabhupada's gift, so we thank you for the opportunity to hear what he has prepared for us. Right? It looks like there's something coming up here on the screen.
Yes, Min, thank you so much. So, Adipurusha Prabhu, will you be able to moderate the class?
I tried my Krishna, great. There was a fire engine or something going by. Okay, you can hear me okay?
Yes.
Please start the class.
Hare Krishna, can you?
Yes, we can hear. We can see the Acharya logo.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yes. Looks like we can hear it.
Following is a class on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, text number 42, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on 4 May 1973 in Los Angeles.
Yes, but Kunti prayed that Neho pasam imam chindi dirham pandushu vishnish. She prayed, my dear Lord, kindly cut off my attraction for the Pandava family and Vishnu family.
Oh, yeah, better.
So, by cutting off
Rishi,
or giving up the attraction for material things, that is not sufficient. The Mayavadi philosophers, they say, Brahma Sattva Jagan Mithya. This world is false and Brahma is truth. We also say the same thing. But what is the difference? The difference is that you are living entity. You want enjoyment. Enjoyment means varieties. Without varieties, you cannot enjoy. That's why here is a flower vase. There are so many flowers. Why God has created so many colors, so many forms? They create enjoyment. Variety. Variety is the mother of enjoyment. That's a common sense. The Mayavadi philosophers, they spoil the varieties, impersonalist. So what the result is? The result is arujya krichena parang padang tata patanti adha. Anadita jusmatang raya, Bhagavad says, they labor hard. They undergo severe penances. Just like our sannyasi, they can sit down here, although there are many women. So Mayavadi sannyasi will not sit down. Where there are women, they will not sit down. They're very strict. And some of the Mayavadi sannyasi, if by chance they touch one woman somewhere or other, then he has to undergo some penances. Of course, a sannyasi should be very cautious about intermingling with women. For a sannyasi, not for a sannyasi, even for a person who is desiring to go back to home, back to Godhead. This is our ultimate goal of life. Human form of life is made for that purpose. That in this life we have to understand our relationship with God, sambandha. And according to that relationship, we have to chalk our plan of working. Because we must fulfill that relationship. This is called in Sanskrit sambandha, avidya, and prayoja. Sambandha, avidya, prayoja. It's like in ordinary dealings. One businessman is going to do business with another man. So first of all, the relationship is established by some agreement. Then the transaction takes place. One is supplier, one is purchaser. Then the result is profit. Three things are there. In husband and wife, the same thing. First of all, sambandha, the relationship. Who will marry which girl, which boy. First of all, in the beginning, formally it was settled up by the parents. Still in India, it is settled up by the parents. That is called sambandha. Then the marriage takes place. Then husband and wife relationship, they live together. Then there is the profit, a child. Similarly, the human life is made for re-establishing our relationship with God. In this material world means forgetfulness, forgetting our relationship with God. That is called material world. No Krishna consciousness. That is material world. As soon as there is Krishna consciousness and acting on the basis of Krishna consciousness, it is no more material world. It is spiritual world. So, here, Kunti Devi, first of all, desire, let my so much affection, love for my two families, my father's family and my father-in-law's family. In India it is called Bapir Bari, Shosur Bari. Bapir Bari means father's house. And Shosur Bari means father-in-law's house. So, Kunti is over. He has got relationship with two families. A man may have so many relationships, but woman, he has not so facility, she has no facility for making more relations. That is not allowed. But at least she has got two relationships with two families, and that is her attachment. So she prays to Krishna, please cut off this relationship. Let me be free.
Okay, let's stop there.
Now, after becoming free,
Hare Krishna. So, where did Srila Prabhupada start today? Who can remember?
Sorry. He started with Queen Kunti praying to be cut from the attachments to family.
Yeah, the first word is sneha. There's actually a devoted girl named Sneha. It means affection. So affection is there. And what is our primary affection? What is the purpose? What is the direction? Well, folks, may Krishna continue to bless you with pure devotional service. Go on, what else does Srila Prabhupada say about affection? Cutting off?
Attachment.
Attachment? So Srila Prabhupada makes a distinction, material attachment. Selfish sense gratification. Attachment is inappropriate, ineffective, useless, and entangling and distracting from devotional service to Krishna.
Yes, and he goes on to say in the material world, there's so many varieties of things that can ensnare you. Because there's this, there's that, and there's so many things, and we need to he says that cut off from what is false. At one point he said something, cut off what is false enjoyment, and that would be the material world.
And then he makes some comment about Mayavadi. What does he say?
When he starts to talk about the Mayavadis and they're very strict, they don't, I lost the first part because my volume wasn't good, but the second part he began to say about the relationship, they won't sit with women. And he said, of course, our sannyasis have to be very cautious as well. But he talks about the Mayavadis being very strict with particularly relationships with women.
I think he was saying giving up attachment for only material things is not just it.
Yeah, they work so hard, so many austerity, but it's what is the result of that? Simply rejecting everything. And then he talks something about relationship in a marriage and how marriage is. What does he say about marriage?
Sambandha.
Sambandha.
How,
May Krishna continue to bless you with pure devotional service.
well, in India, how there used to be arranged marriage. I think you mentioned something about that. The boy and the girl don't know each other from before, and then they get into this long-term, lifelong relationship.
So,
And
go
then
on.
they say from out of that, they get a child.
Sambandha, relationship. It talks about the businessman, they have a relationship.
Johnny Prabhu is
He mentioned first about businessmen having a relationship and sambandha, and then he says also the same as in marriage. There's a relationship and some profit. The relationship is for some profit, and in marriage, then you get together, have a child, and that is the profit.
right. The intention will direct the quality of the relationship in a positive direction or in a useless and painful direction. So he's focusing on the goal of human life is what?
Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness.
Krishna consciousness, developing our relationship with Krishna. And if our intention is that, then relationships can be supportive and beneficial. Everything can be used properly or can be misused. We were listening to Deva Amrita Swami's class, and he was saying, okay, you have this digestive system, the tongue, the esophagus, the stomach. You can use it to eat something nourishing, or it can be misused to eat something, just wasteful calories and even toxic. You can eat poison. We have this nervous system. It can be used for learning and, the nerves and the brain, and it can be used in a positive direction, or We can take intoxicants and just stimulate the nervous system and destroy it. And then he said, then we have this reproductive system. It's called the reproductive system. Whether it's homosex or heterosex, even in marriage, if the reproductive equipment is misused, it's a waste of time. He said, just like if you took a handful of $5 bills and threw them in the toilet and flushed it, that Lakshmi can be used, or it can be just, dribbled away. So we want to use whatever we've been given and focus the intention of our relationships on developing our love for Krishna. Anything else in this section anybody can remember? It was quite rich, probably.
Another thing he just said was material world equals no Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. It's amazing. We have this experience visiting family members who are not really focused on devotional service, but they're also active, just basically eating and sleeping and entertaining themselves. And on and on and on, all day long, every day, absolutely no devotional service to Krishna. It's not that they're just asleep. So we have a choice. And if we're very careful to accept the guidance of the spiritual master and to use our intelligence to plan how I can use my time, how I can use whatever facility Krishna gives, whatever talent, can I use it to push on Lord Chaitanya's movement? Or is it just bodily maintenance, like the cats and dogs, eating and sleeping? Anything else here? Fantastic class. One thing that occurs to me is that she prayed to Krishna. She prayed to Krishna. This attachment is more powerful than anything I can control. Only by your grace can I have my attention and attachment flow to you like the Ganges flows to the sea. She's praying to Krishna, so we're appealing to the Lord for that. We have the freedom to desire properly. And Krishna, how wonderful is Krishna? He will help us. He will. He can. Why not? She prayed to Krishna. I love this word sneha. I thought that was a really nice name. Sneha, it means affection. We can't live without love, right? There has to be some affection. But if it's just material affection without any focus on devotional service, then it's just sentimental waste of time in the human life. Anything else? Sorry, I'm talking so much. Okay, let's go on with Srila Prabhupada's discourse.
I
Oh,
see
go
that
on.
Bhima has his hand raised.
Yeah? What did you say?
I was just going to say, Prabhupada also briefly in the beginning went on about the colors and the different varieties of the beauty that Krishna offers us as a reflection of the spiritual world, that this material world may come and go as it will, but it's like a mirror, and you want to turn around and see that true tree from Vaikuntha, or that true tree from Goloka, instead of just the reflection of the tree in the disturbed waters of our mind. So there's that fine line, was Queen Kunti still the best queen ever? Did she walk with the Pandavas, her children, her sons, her warriors? Did she walk hand in hand with them throughout Krishna's Leela and fight the good fight and survive to become whom she is, Queen Kunti? So we must be aware that we can talk philosophically about something, but it's Krishna's Leela that teaches us the deeper narrative of what is practical What is practical in this letting go of our attachment to the material world or our family? What is letting go is letting go that that's all there is. But when, as Queen Kunti did, says, Krishna, please get even closer to me than my own family. And thus, of course, what happens then is you become Krishna conscious, because what's the closest thing to you? And we always have to remember that the variety and the beauty and the opportunity we have, as you say, Adi, all the time. How is this helping spread love of God? How is this helping spread Krishna's, the awareness that there even is a personal God, and he's Krishna, and that he's there, and that we should, as Prabhupada said, there is no material world. It's all spiritual. That's a wild one. So if we can remember that, we can understand that in the varieties and in the familiar or the family ties that we have, our responsibilities and our duties, that in that can become the spiritual world. We do not necessarily have to walk away into the Himalayas, as Krishna told Arjuna not to do. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhupada used the word sufficient. This material activity is not sufficient to satisfy the heart. And he says variety is the mother of enjoyment. So the Mayavad, they just reject everything. And they just no good tasting food, no singing, no dancing, no relationships. They just become dull like a rock. And they're thinking that material activity is painful, so therefore just throw it all out. But in the spiritual world, Prabhupada's given us a life of singing and dancing and feasting and loving relationships in connection to devotional service to Krishna. Okay, let's go on with Prabhupada's discourse. We have some time.
Then whatever you are going to do, that is the question. Suppose one is employed in a farm, he feels inconvenience. This service is not very good. Let me resign. He will resign. But if you get a better service, then that resignation is all right. And if by resigning you become unemployed, no engagement, then what is the value of such resignation? What is the value of such resignation? Similarly, those who are frustrated, confused, we don't want this material world. Just like in your country, the hippies, they're frustrated, confused. You don't want, this is don't, but what you want, that they do not know. That point is missing. You say, I don't want this, but what you want, that you do not know. And that want, what we want actually, that is explained by Kuti. Toi me ananna visaya moti madhupati asakit. Unto you, let this family relationship affection be need. But my relationship with you become conformed. Be conformed. Toi me ananna visaya. No more attraction for anything else. Only attraction for Krishna. This is what? This is perfection. Toi me ananna visaya. Ananna visaya means ananna bhakti, without any deviation. 24 hours, simply attachment for Krishna. That is what. Then your renouncement is perfect. If you think that this attachment and that attachment both may remain, no, that cannot go. That will be nice, not nice. Just like you ignite fire, at the same time pour water on it. Then it will be the result. The fire will not act. Similarly, if you want to renounce, just like the Mayavadi sannyasi says, that Brahma Sattva Jagan Mithya, renounce this word. They take a langota, a loin cloth, and preach who is your wife, who is your children, who is your country, so many things, they negative way. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mulamate. This is very good to preach renouncement of this word. But side by side, we must have attachment for something. Otherwise it will not stay. Therefore we see so many sannyasis, they say Brahma Satta, Jagan Mithya, they give up, take sannyas. But after taking sannyas, after a few days or few years, they come back again to this material world to open hospital, philanthropic world, school. Why? If you have left this world as mithya, as false, why you are again coming to politics, to philanthropy, from sociology and so on? Why you are coming again? And that is bound to be. Because we are living entity, we are active. If we simply become inactive out of frustration, then it will be failure. We must engage with the activities. That
Let's
activity
stop there.
is
Let's stop
devotion.
there. Okay, so Prabhupada is expounding on the quality of renunciation. Who can remember something he said?
That makes the smallest and the large.
Anybody ready?
He made an example of somebody quitting a job, thinking that there's something better out there, but that person doesn't know what he wants.
Yeah, if you give up your job but you don't get some other engagement, then you're just unemployed. Unemployed. What did he say about the hippies?
He was saying, they were saying, we don't want, we don't want, we don't want. But the question is, what do you want? And later he went on to say it's our nature to be attached to something, right? Like you were saying, the Sneha, the affection, it's our nature. And it's what we're attaching to is the problem.
Yeah, he said if you just renounce and then you go into inactivity, you cannot endure. Sooner or later, just living in this bland white light is boring. We can go on and on with that. There must be something, some positive engagement. And the one thing, expanding on what Srila Prabhupada says here, if we renounce the family, my children, my wife, my husband, if we renounce that, then there's actually an expansion to a greater family. When we turn ourselves to Krishna, just like our experience on distributing books or collecting donations, we approach everyone. And in just a moment, we're looking at them, Krishna's love flows through us to that person. And in just a moment, they begin to realize this is somebody who cares about me, because everyone else in the world is trying to take something from us. But the devotees and the spiritual master, that was the quality we see in Srila Prabhupada. In the present, we see that Srila Prabhupada, he said, I love you for you, not for what I'm trying to get from you. I love you means I love you for you. We were listening last night, Prabhupada was saying, one Indian man and a student in Berkeley in 1966, he said, he stood up in the assembly and said, Swamiji, we want technology. What good is this Krishna consciousness? And Prabhupada said, see, you're coming here like a beggar to get something, but I have come to give. We're not beggars. We're here to give, to bring something valuable. Not that we want anything from America. Anything else Prabhupada said here?
He speaks about Kunti Devi's prayer as illustrating that thing that we want. How she prays for no more attraction for anything but God.
Prabhupada said, full attraction, 24 hours, nothing else. Only Krishna consciousness. And sometimes people feel a little bit uncomfortable to hear that, but it's the truth, and it's possible. I can remember reacting to hearing that the first time and thinking, wait a minute, just devotional service all the time? How could that what could you possibly do? Prabhupada said in 24 hours. We have full engagement, no gap. Go from this service to that service to this service. And then he said, you see, here's the time when I read, here's the time when I speak, here's the time when I play music on my harmonium. I just go from one service to another. Follow me. And we take a breath. How could I, what about, but everything's included in devotional service.
And remember that Queen Kunti knew what is most important in this quest for pure devotional service, which is welcome the calamities, because Krishna brings it on hot and heavy to his best. I mean, look at what Prabhupada had to go through on his trip on the Yaladuta. And also, he was fully aware that through Krishna's empowerment, he had 108 temples and 108 places within, 10 years? And that's incredible. So he knew that Krishna was in control, but at the same time, he knew that there was going to be troubles and that everybody, each individual was going to be in trouble, and that broke his heart. And he did. I remember, as you can attest, Adi, there was a devotee who was very close to him in the very, very beginning, and who fell away into atrocious activity. And yet Prabhupada shed tears over him. Where is he? When will he come back? So, it's like there's the proof that it was about true personal love. But at the same time, it's what we have to give. Kunti knew Krishna. Kunti knew the treasure that is Krishna. Kunti knew what would make people wake up, and what will make her sons turn to Krishna and Krishna alone. What will bring Arjuna, her son, on the battlefield to turn to Krishna and Krishna alone first and foremost. She knew that, and she asked for these calamities to come. And that's what that we mentioned this yesterday. That's what we shouldn't be afraid to face, because then all we have to hang on to is Krishna. And when you're hanging on solely to Krishna, then the world itself becomes the spiritual world. That's, of course, what Prabhupada has said. Hare Krishna.
Major Shekhar Babu was offering an explanation that she wasn't exactly praying for calamities, but she said, in those situations, I found myself turning to you intensely. So if that's what it takes, send me calamities. Not that she was just a masochist looking for trouble, but Sachinanda Maharaj was speaking to Hari Prasad, and he said, anything of value in this world has a price. Don't think it will be easy. If it's valuable, then we have to make a sacrifice. Austerity is the wealth of the Brahmins. We look forward to whatever difficult thing we may have to do in order to please Krishna.
And what pleases Krishna is to glorify his devotees. And what glorifies his devotees are these acts of great courage and great faith. This is what makes the movement go on. When you have acharyas, when you have devotees who perform wonderful deeds to be remembered and to serve as signposts as to what it is externally manifest, to be a surrendered devotee. We have so many examples within the movement of devotees that surrendered very quickly. Paula hadn't heard of Ayendra Prabhu, other than the fact that I listened to him on this, on headphones and stuff. And when she heard yesterday about Ayendra, Prabhupada turned to Ayendra when Ayendra was just a young, brand new devotee and he was playing the mridanga, and he was singing outside the temple as Srila Prabhupada was leaving, and Prabhupada stopped and turned and looked at Ayendra in the eyes and said, Jai. And Ayendra never stopped having kirtan after that, 24/7 for decades and decades. And we see that that type of example, whether it be the beautiful art of kirtan, or whether it be giving classes, or being a host of classes, or running a hostel, or whatever, we have this chance to perform for the sake of the glorification of Krishna. And Krishna allows us these opportunities, challenges, and calamities to happen again and again, so that we always remember that he's in control.
What a wonderful point, that actually, when we see the austerities going on, Krishna sometimes puts the devotee in difficulty to glorify the devotee. Just see, think of the Job, everything was taken from him. And the suffering servant, he remained faithful. The good Lord giveth, the good Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. He wasn't deterred just because there was difficulty. And when we see a devotee in a fearful situation, acting courageously and going on in devotional service, it's Krishna's arrangement to glorify that devotee. Just see, he wants to do this for me, even if there's some difficulty for himself. Very good point. We're rolling really close here, but there's a minute or two, 3, 4 minutes. Please, anyone else, or should we go back to Srila Prabhupada? Okay, let's hear a little bit what else Srila Prabhupada has to share with us.
This is Brahma activity. The Mayavadis, they do not know. Just like we were discussing in this beach morning about the spiritual world. Spiritual world is exactly like the material world, varieties. There is also house, there is also tree, there is also road, there is also chariot, everything is there, but without inability.
Not inability.
Without inability. There, Chintamani Takara Sadamasu Kalpa Vrikka Lakya Britesu Surabhi Ravipala. For example, just like there is tree also. Chintamani, Prakara Sadamasu Kalpa Vrikka. But those trees are not like this tree. Suppose you want some fruit, say suppose mango. You go to the mango tree, you're taking mango, at the same time desire, why not little grapes? But this mango tree cannot supply you grapes. But in the spiritual world, you are eating mango, at the same time if you desire grapes, the same tree will supply. This is called desire tree.
Okay, 2 minutes left. Let's stop for a minute.
Ideas of the spiritual world.
Okay, what did Srila Prabhupada say?
Again, variety.
Variety.
Spiritual world.
There's everything there. There's tree, there is fruit, there is activity, there are relationships. It's not that we have just monotonous emptiness, void. So the spiritual world is very rich, beautiful, colorful, fragrant, tasty, right? And lots of love, lots of love. material world. There's no love for Krishna, so people don't even know how to show genuine affection for each other. Affection without lust. Imagine that. Sweet. That's why it's beyond just peacefulness. It's the highest enjoyment is this loving exchanges between devotees. We have about 1 minute. It's time now. If anybody has anything to share, the curtain is about to open. Thank you so much for gathering together as an offering to Krishna and hearing Srila Prabhupada speak. He wants to give us this gift, and he's very pleased that we will take the time to hear a little bit every day together. We love this interactive format where we hear everyone's voice. Good, John, you want to move this over there? Here comes the conch shell.
Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Adipurusha Prabhu. Thank you, Min. Thanks to everyone who shared their reflections. Repeating Srila Prabhupada. Thank you.
Jaya Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra, Gaura.
Magnificent country. Magnificent.
C'est bon. Venam Twan Manta Manavinda Galaya Kacham Bhagavatam Samasitam Urasulanam Andagato Kamya Vishena Govinda Nai Krishna Mahavatami Govinda Nai Krishna Mahavatami Anjali Yoga Sakalen Priya Vimaki Ajahn Vita Ikayam
Govinda Hari Bhushan Govinda Hari Bhushan Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Hari Bhushan Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Hari Bhushan Hari Krishna, Bhajami, Govinda, Hari Krishna, Bhajami, Govinda, Hari Krishna, Go. Pure devotional service. I bow down to so to speak, great awe and reverence. By His grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and attain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish to have my conscience purified by the word and deeds of lotus mouth. Attachment to His lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desire. He opens my darkened eyes, and fills my heart with heaven and mental knowledge. He is my Lord, earth after earth. From Him ecstatic praise, and my ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of His character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy. Friend of the poor, our Lord, our master of the devotees. O master of birth amongst the wealthy. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. May your fame be spread all over the great world. Take shelter until lotus feet.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Jani Tai Prabhu. Thank you. Welcome to the Afterglow. Would anyone like to speak in the Afterglow? In line with Guru Sadhan Shastra? Men. Thank you so much, men. Excellent job. Channeling Srila Prabhupada's words.
I was a little nervous that maybe my dogs would start barking, but that didn't happen. So, yeah. Uh, Something that Bhima brought up about Queen Kunti's prayer and how she asked for the calamity to come. And I think I just realized something. So we hear that, and we've also been hearing from Giri Govardhan about how this relationship with Krishna is open from his side, and it's us who we have to invite and Krishna into our lives so that it's a 100% consensual relationship. And Queen Kunti asking for this calamity to come so that she could only see him is her inviting him into her life. And I was thinking that if we could do that if in a small scale, I don't think I could really do what Queen Kunti is doing at this point, right? She's a pure devotee. But if I could kind of ask Krishna, can you just open the door a little bit and let him in a little bit so that he could transform me? Then when the hardships come, when the difficult things come in my life, I don't think that I'll be so maybe personally disturbed that this is happening random, or why is this happening? This is too difficult, because I had already asked Krishna to come in. So if I could see my heart situations that way, then Giri Govardhan brings in the third verse of Shikshashtakam, where being more tolerant than a tree is spoken there, and then that tolerance isn't necessarily being armed up, suit up, and being hard and harsh, but we can actually be loving and being a well wisher of everyone, and being kind even when we're going through hard times. So I really like that.
Thank you, man. That's a great question. Are we supposed to be purified first and become fully realized in Krishna conscious before Krishna can send a calamity?
The calamity does the purification. It's going to come. Nobody gets out of here alive.
Thank you. Thank you. Weekend motivation from Bhima Prabhu.
Maybe everybody doesn't know this. Min had an experience. She had an apartment and a studio. She came home and the entire block of her where she lived burnt down. She lost everything, all her possessions, all her artwork that she was prepared to have a presentation. Krishna just took everything. I mean, every thread, every shred of what she had, you know. And then it makes you realize, my God, what is this? My house, my home, my things, are they actually going to be enduring? Or are they here and there and gone, you know? What is valuable? What is... Oh, wait a minute, Das is crinkling.
He's like a rabbit.
What is valuable? Krishna says, what's real is eternal. What's unreal is just so, like grabbing smoke, you know? I'm sorry to talk so much. Hare Krishna.
When that happened, obviously it was very devastating, and I didn't have anyone to really rely on either, so it was quite difficult. But looking back, what's really remarkable is that having Krishna in my life now, I can look back at that time and clearly see that he was there. Because even though it was difficult, the thing that really stayed with me is that, right, I don't really need much to be alive, to exist. And so, what is more important than my clothes, my books? Even what was most valuable to me at that time was, artwork. So yeah, it's kind of beautiful that Krishna gave me that experience.
Thank you, man. Vaisheshika Prabhu talks about this concept of preemptive giving. Like Bhima Prabhu always sobers us up by saying that everything will be taken away. So that's kind of the harsh, the blunt side of the equation. But the good side of the equation is that we can preemptively give it to Krishna, and then there's no question of losing anything. If it's engaged in devotional service, it's given up properly by being dedicated to Krishna. Then there's no question of losing and trauma and all that. Right, Bhima, Kaviraj Prabhu?
It can either be a wrestling match that you have with the angels that Krishna sends. You can wrestle to hold on to your desires, or you can dance with Krishna. In each case, you have your hands. When you become a devotee, you become your hands intermeshed with Krishna, and you can either go head to head and you'll lose. You lose every time, and you can laugh. You can laugh. There's another way of looking at it. You can laugh while you're losing. Sometimes Krishna lets you think you're winning. He does that with the cowherd boys. He lets you think you're winning. Like, here's a little blessing for you, and I'm just waiting down the line to just get you to to trip up a little bit so that you and I can have a good laugh at what such a fool you are for hanging on. Or you can be like a lot of devotees. It wasn't me, it ain't me, but I see devotees. Adi's one of them, and the people who work around Adi, and so many devotees I see in New York who meet Krishna consciousness, who read a book, who come to the temple for the first time, who take prasad, and the next thing you know, they're dancing with Krishna. They get their hands intermeshed, and they're letting Krishna lead too. He's the lead, and they're dancing backwards with the same moves. Krishna and it's a big, it's a ballroom dance, and it's beautiful, and you spin under the light of the moon, and you spin under the years that you spend in Krishna consciousness. There are so many devotees like that. I know that when I talk to Adi, when we talk about devotees, what they're like, certain devotees that have that even now in this day move us by their example. We see that they are, it's a beautiful thing when you see devotional service as it should be manifest. And guess what? Devotional service as it should be manifest comes with variety, comes with beauty, comes with color, comes with taste, comes with sex life for the sake of the procreation of Krishna conscious children, and comes with all those wonderful things. So the calamities can sometimes just get us to get in rhythm with the wonderful adventures that Krishna has to offer us, which includes, of course, war and war within ourselves. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhima Prabhu, for this PG-13 contribution to morning class.
What a cool point! Not just tolerating it, but actually thanking Krishna for it, even though materially it may seem bitter. But actually, knowing Krishna's loving hand is behind it, saying, "Thank you, Lord. Now, how can I serve you under this circumstance? How can I serve you?" What's that guy, Fred Astaire? He had who's his dance partner in ballroom dancing? Fred Astaire. I can't think of her name.
Ginger Rogers.
Rogers, right? So she said, she said, "Yeah, he's a great dancer, but I have to do what he does, walking backwards in high heels. I have to do the same dance steps." Sometimes we overlook the fact that Krishna is empowering us to deal with these calamities. I'm sorry to talk so long.
Thank you. I can hear Das Prabhu is chuckling. He's probably appreciating the point of walking backwards on the high heels. Are you relating to that, Das? Does Krishna make you do that sometime?
I'm always amazed going back and forth and seeing so many people in high heels. How they, it's amazing. Krishna is amazing. So, and I love the way Bhima. You just painted such a wonderful picture. So many metaphors in what you said there. I'm imagining the dance floor. It was really beautiful.
If anybody has ever seen Das, we can understand that he's doing the samba with Krishna. You see him spinning to go get some prasad. He's always spinning to go get prasad. That's definitely a constant dance move. But he's always spinning people into the bhakti center. New guests. Just somehow he manages to, he plays like a Pied Piper. He leads them to Adi's, from our guest rooms to Adi's serve out. And then the next thing you know, they're all sitting in front of Radha Murlidhar, and they're all quiet. And it's like, the song in between, or now we're just going to listen to this. Now we're going to look at the true dancers, Krishna and Radharani. There they are, and which is a surprising thing to see the divine for the first time in your life actually be a male and female, and that it's a beautiful thing. It's incredible. And Das, brings it about by, escorting people to the Bhakti Center. So that's exactly what I was talking about as far as devotees dancing backwards in high heels. I can see you now, Das, in a red dress.
What about that move where the guy leans the girl over backwards?
You're right.
I could attest to Das's magic, actually. He even had me and Jack sing kirtan for the deities on Mudanga last Friday, which was completely unexpected. And afterwards, when we left, I was like, wait, did we just sing for the deities? I couldn't believe it. Thank you so much, Das.
Yes, that's Krishna's mercy. It's really, and of course there is prasadam. I'm simply meditating on handing out the maha afterwards and getting a piece of maha myself. It's all motivated.
Das has figured out where they keep the maha. You see him tiptoeing into the Pajor room and opening the cupboard to distribute the mercy.
Everybody,
Well, they say seek the nectar, right? I mean, seek the nectar. And Das is like a bumblebee. We have these cherry trees, weeping cherry trees, and when they come into blossom in the spring, all the honeybees come out, and they just go from flower to flower, and they spin and land on another flower, and they get covered with pollen, and then they spin, and then they go back and they make their honey, and that's how devotees should be. That's how I see Das. You don't think he has a map of what he's doing. He's just like a pinball that just bounces off the sides and somehow always ends up where the prasadam is at any given time, 24/7. Yeah, it's so funny, when you become a devotee. It's all about seeking the nectar.
yeah, mercy. Thank you.
Das Prabhu is blushing. So nice. Such a wonderful poetic battle of who can glorify Krishna and his devotees better. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Okay, Isaiah, Annabelle, what are you working on? What's that project?
A Lego set based on Minecraft.
Wonderful. Okay, are you available to recite the Maha Mantra, Isaiah, Annabelle?
Yes.
Please.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Sweet. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, Isaiah. Thank you very much, Karen and Annabelle.
Thank you.
Look, it's on that
Thank you.
See, this is how you can this is how you can have your family and be affectionate with them and have Krishna consciousness at the same time.
Hare Krishna. Is that muted?
We just said in Krishna.
No, we're not muted. Ah,
Did you just say a cursing word?
I got another one.
No.
What?
Did you
Luna can teach you. Just outside the call.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
16.
Hare Krishna?
Okay, I need 16 of these.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Bye bye. We love you.